Welcome to Happy Life Show. Today we are going to be happy and we'll be healthier after tonight because we have a very distinguished guest, Teresa Meadows, to join us and talk about happy mindset and healthy body. Teresa, welcome to Happy Life Show.
Thank you, Chen.
Good evening to you.
I appreciate you having me. Good evening.
Yeah,
Good evening.
It's very, very joyful to see you again. I remember about 4 years ago or so, I had the honor to inviting your daughter, Janet, to come to my show. At that time, she was only 10 years old, and because she read my book, Happy Life, and she said she wanted to come and talk about the book, and it was my honor, it was one of my joyful day in my life to have a chance to interview her. Now is the mother, and I understand that you're a very loving person, you are energized, good with your family, good with your friends, and more importantly, you're a health coach.
That's right.
Yes,
That's right.
yes. And that's why I want to invite you to come over because the things that I learned in the past about happy life, it's all about our mindset. It's all about from inner and how to overcome our obstacles, challenges, and capture happiness every opportunity that comes in our life. Mm-hmm. But there's more than just that in life. I realize it. So when I heard about that you are a distinguished health coach, I want to learn a little bit more. What are the best way to keep themselves happy and healthy? So I want to welcome you. And hopefully you can share your wisdom with us today.
Okay, well, I really appreciate the time this evening, and you know, it really is my passion for people to not only realize their health goals, but for them to realize their personal goals. You know, we all have dreams, we all have aspirations of things we want to accomplish, things we want to pick back up and do again, and places we want to visit, friends we want to reconnect with, and just new explorations. We just don't know what's around the bend. And it's important that we don't stop dreaming. And I think there's a lot of people that they stop dreaming. They get into a situation where their circumstances become such where they feel the things that they want to do in life get smaller and smaller. And so I try to encourage those that I've had the privilege to work with, for them to dream big, for them to start thinking about the goals that they've had at one time and the new goals that they have, and try to make a mental plan of a 5-year, 10-year, and then backing it up to how about next year? How about in the next 6 months? How about in 3 months? How about in the next 5 days? I think people just need to realize you can have a goal and you can readjust the timeline of that, but you've got to be dreaming to be living. Dreaming to be living.
That's a good takeaway today. That's awesome. Well, you know, when I was writing the book, and I always talk about different perspective, and talking about, you know, how to overcome obstacles, how to overcome challenges, capture opportunities, and so what makes you such a great coach other than the mindset? Do you have any other inspirations outside of the realm that can motivate you as a motivator yourself?
Yes, well, I have a very strong faith, and so I know I didn't arrive here on my own. I know that you know, I was created, and that there is a unbelievable purpose for my life. Not just my life, but for your life, for every person. And I want to be able to realize all the purposes that God has for me. And He has amazing things right now in my life happening, but just years and years ahead that I can't even see. But I think the potential for a human being to be connected to their real purpose and finding out those purposes along the way and being able to live in them is very, very powerful.
It is.
And so when you know it's not all up to you, it's not something that intrinsically that you're building up in yourself, because we can disappoint ourselves. Things can fail. And if it's all just up to us, it can be very discouraging. But if we know that there is a creator beyond us that really wants us to know him and wants us to know every opportunity that he's going to place in our life for us to become more and more the way he's created us to be and experience all of life that he wants us to. And so I think the point is, we're not alone. We're not doing life alone. And then there's all these people around us that have a purpose and that have been created to be on my path and be on your path. We're inspiring, we're encouraging, we're lifting up. You know, we have a responsibility to help those around us.
That's
and
right.
So I think we're all encouragers.
That's very, very true. Well, when the people around with the ones like yourself and other individuals that they have a positive outlooks, have good faith, and they're always able to generate more energy among the groups and motivate each other and see a better future, and also, you know, find life is more interesting and are able to see things from a different perspective as well. So, yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think that's you are very, very accurate about what you are saying. And how can we train ourselves to have a better, happier mindset on a single day or every a day of our lives?
Well,
what would be a good way to maintain it?
Part of, you know, just my own habits of what I have come to know to be just my everyday living is, you know, I look forward to the new day. Doesn't matter what happened yesterday, because yesterday is gone. I can't relive yesterday.
Very true.
We can't go back. And we shouldn't go back. We should remember and we should learn, but the new day, it's a fresh slate. The sky is there, you know, the sun's shining some of the days, and the birds are flying, and business as usual. And we can merge on to the day, merge into life on that new day, and
Look
have
forward.
brand new purpose. Yes,
Yeah,
there's a
look
lot awaiting us, and so I think we need to not put obstacles in our way. We need to look for every possibility out there, because every day is full of new possibilities, new challenges, new opportunities.
New opportunities. Well, you know, it's important to talk about opportunity, especially for a younger generation, because a lot of times, you know, that we have talked among parents that nowadays the children are so afraid of failure, you know, and, you know, I'm much older than you, but where I was growing up and where I came from, you know, failure is part of life. You know, we start early, you know, we learn things, we go out and play, make a lot of mistakes, and that's this growing pain, but in the same time, it empowering us. And so, to me, while we are learning and growing, we find a lot of happiness. Even when we fall, you know, 9 out of 10 times we cry, but right out of that, we get back to a energized mode and happy again, you know. So, and I thought that might be something that we would like to talk a little bit about, you know, before getting into your expertise, because with your inspiration, I want the younger generation or the parents would probably like to hear a little bit about, you know, how we can encourage our younger generation to be a happier go-getter, you know, because I know about your family. And I admire your family. You know, Mr. Meadows is a wonderful person, and you're a wonderful, loving, very encouraging individual. And you're one of the most beautiful family. And they all very, very great manner, number one, well respected, and loving hearts, and great faiths. And, you know, they all have wonderful faiths, and they have a very beautiful outlook. So, how do you encourage your children when they were growing up? Do you allow them to go out and do things on their own, allow them to fail failing forward in my mind, because you say we don't look back, right? So we
That's
just look
right.
forward, and so in the way that I sense that I just want to learn how you teach your children,
Okay.
because they are wonderful.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. I want my children to work as hard as they can at whatever the task is. And that may happen some days, it may not happen other days. But I think as long as they're aspiring and trying, I want my children to try. I want all people to try. I think if we're not moving forward, we are standing still, and standing still is really moving backward.
Correct.
And so just engaging in life, knowing that things and people and ideas may not all turn out the way they expected, and there's going to be a lot of disappointments along the way, but they need to know that that does not determine the way of their future. And so they just need to keep pushing forward. If they have a teacher that maybe a difficult teacher, or one that they're not learning from very well, they're going to have to do the very, very best that they possibly can in that environment. Because in life, you're going to have an environment that you're not going to be able to control. You're going to have
Correct.
an office environment that you work in. You might have a college roommate. You may just have a neighbor that you're just trying to figure out how to build a relationship. Life is
understand.
full of a lot of different obstacles and challenges, and being able to relate well in your environment, and that to me is being successful. I had a conversation with someone today, and they had shared that their daughter was very, very upset and just very down because of some grades that she had.
Right.
And she was going to actually go pick her up from school, and I sent her a little text, and I said, just make sure you let her know that her value is not in the grade. You're much greater
It's much
than the
greater.
grade, because we're a work in progress. We're becoming something better every day when we're working, and we're working at becoming a better person. And I mean, that's
Absolutely.
something that we can't do on our own.
Right.
I mean, I know that the Lord helps me each and every day to rely on Him and keep at it. Have my children to keep at their studies, keep at their friendships, and making them better, and becoming a trusted friend, a reliable classmate, a reliable student, a reliable child and sibling. And I think just instilling those values.
Okay, so family value and the value in life is those are great lessons to learn.
Yes.
And talking about happiness, and that's part of the topic. Keep our mindset happy. When you're unhappy, how can we overcome them?
Well, there are things that are going to happen in life where we can become saddened, and
Right.
we can become very disappointed, and
Right.
we have a place where it may change our mood and change how we're looking at our present circumstances, even the people around us that we love. And I think we have to know that whatever situation we're in, it's temporary.
Okay.
Things don't last forever.
Right.
They last maybe for a season, a day, an hour, but we can't make it look larger than it is. And no matter what it is that we're walking through, we have to know that there's another side to it.
Right.
And we've got to trust that we are gonna be able to have the tools to make it through. I mean, I know that the Lord always gives me a way out. I always just prayer that I don't really know the whole situation, and I need wisdom. So I don't rely totally on myself, but just wisdom on taking one step at a time and not going way down the track
Right.
when I'm right at the
So
gate.
praying is good. And I also heard the word that you said, walk through. So do you think if you are unhappy, if you take a walk for maybe the next 15 minutes, do you think it might help?
Let me tell you, it has been proven and studied that if you get up and you just take a walk, it could be outdoors would be the best, because your senses are more, becoming involved in nature and your surroundings. And taking a 5, 10, even 15-minute walk can change the whole direction
Absolutely.
of your mood.
That's right.
There was a presentation that I did, and one of the slides in that presentation, it showed 2 photographs of the brain. And one brain, the photography was just different shades of blue. And the other brain, it had shades of blue, but orange and yellow. It was vibrant, it was the rainbow. The brain that had all these colors was a brain that had experienced exercise. So when our bodies are able to engage in movement, in exercise, and even some enjoyable, you know, an enjoyable sport,
Right.
you know, it changes our chemistry.
Awesome.
And it affects how we feel, and it can turn around, it can just turn around our perspective. And maybe it's sometimes diffusing the mood we're in, or the circumstance, or the situation. And you know how when we were younger, you might need to go take a walk.
Awesome. That's the word I'm trying to hear from you today. That is a good takeaway also. So when we are feeling unhappy, you know, obstacle that we need to overcome. So one of the best way to do is do a little exercise.
Absolutely.
Walk away, get some fresh air. And, you know, life is full of obstacles. That's what you just said.
That's right.
And one of the reasons is that, you know, life is a process.
Right.
Good, better, worse, you know, and we get older, we got sickness, you know, that our family, you know, have obstacles. So it's not just about us. So when one of our family members, that when they are ill, when they need help, we are not going to feel happy because that our loved one is not feeling happy. Even when you see a stranger, when they are in suffering or in sadness, you don't feel happy either.
No.
So, you know, the best way to do, just like what you said, you know, find a way to motivate us and motivate our family and friends and help the strangers and help them to feel better. And I have found several things other than the walking, the praying, and maybe encourage words and a helping hand, maybe just a kind word. And sometimes it helps to lift the other people's spirit up. And so we can see a bigger picture or smaller pictures. And I also realized that, Teresa, is that, you know, the reason that we are unhappy most of the time is because everyone have a different perspective and standards. You know, so, but I remember the old days when I was growing up, people say one person's floor is other people's ceiling, and vice versa. So when you are able to understand, you know, an issue, and looking at it from different perspectives, the old saying that put yourself in the other people's shoes or foot or whatever, you know, however that you think about, you know, look at things and try to find a way to feel better, no matter what it is. But we need to find a way to make yourself feel better. Like what you just told me, and I learned from it, is that tomorrow is going to be a better day. So at times, when I went through a very difficult day, or maybe a difficult week, or difficult season, when I wake up in the morning, I take a deep breath and say, I got free air. You know?
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. You know, but because, you know, sometimes you say, well, the reason that I say that, not only because I want to feel better, but if you make Mr. Bill Gates to pay for the fresh air, which is the oxygen that we intake every single day, at the end of his lifetime, the bill can be huge. You may give him a headache by just thinking about it. But we all get it from, you know, from God, and we got it for free. So I think the second thing I want to talk about is the appreciation. When you appreciate what you already have,
Right.
you know, and count that blessing, I think is also important for us to find ourselves to live a happy life. What do you think about that perspective?
Well, I will tell you, we have too many things to be thankful for, and I think we don't concentrate enough on our blessings as we do our problems.
Right.
And everyone is dealing with something. If you're living life, and if you're part of a family, or wherever part of a family, if you're part of a community, country,
Society.
yes, and we can go on and on, part of the world, you know, you're going to have obstacles, you're going to have things that are difficult. And, you know, we need to be able to push through and persevere, and we have to not make the problem or what we're dealing with too big. It is not bigger than life.
Right.
It's a very small piece that we've been served, and we need to deal with it in a responsible way and not let it overcome us.
Right.
When I was a flight attendant years ago, and for those of you, when you're on the plane and the stewardess gives the announcement about the oxygen mask and making sure that to put it on yourself in case of an emergency, and she reminds the adults or him that if you're traveling with small children, make sure you put the oxygen mask on yourself first before you administer oxygen to your children.
Right.
I think how I want to answer your question is, I think so many times we don't put the oxygen mask on. We are so busy trying
to
stop
first.
everything, and we lose the first step that we should have taken, and make sure that we're breathing in, we're breathing out, we're breathing in, we're breathing out, and that we're able to be in a better place if we're putting ourselves in line than if we're at the back of the line. I can be a better friend, better wife, better mother if I'm doing things to take care of me, take care of my mental health, my personal health, my physical health. I need to take those steps and be responsible, because nobody's going to do that for me.
Wow. That is a new chapter that I just learned.
Good.
I never thought about
Your next
that.
book.
Yes, I never thought about that. So you really, well, that's an old Chinese saying though. In order for you to love your parents and others, you must love yourself. And I think that is very true by just listening to you. That's a modern philosophy.
Good, good.
Yeah, I heard the old, Asian sayings, and sometimes you heard a lot, but you never digest it until somebody bring up that subject.
Right.
And I'm glad that you brought that up because, I may be a selfish person, most of my life, but sometimes in danger, you really think about your children first. And if you're riding in an airplane, you're absolutely right. You probably put the oxygen for your children first before you help yourself. But by listening to you, it's not that we don't want to help them, but in order for us to put ourselves in a better situation to help others, we must take care of ourselves first. Physically, mentally, prepare. That is a very good lesson. Never thought it in from that perspective. And thank you for sharing that
You're
idea
welcome.
with me.
It is important to know that it's not that we're being selfish, but we're being responsible. If we're going to be an example, if we're going to be someone that can be depended on, we can't be laying flat. We've got to be up and our motors running to be able to serve. We're going to have to be willing and able.
Wow, that's very true. Just like we talked about leadership last week with another distinguished guest of mine, Jennifer Asante, and she energizes, and she talked about leadership last week. And in order for us to become a better leader, you have to set good examples.
Right.
So, in order for you to be a motivated individual, a coach, everybody can be a coach, right?
Well, most people can coach something.
Yeah,
right?
can
We
coach
all
something.
Can coach something.
Yeah, well, we all can call ourselves
Right.
coaching, even though when we teach our child or children or students, we are actually coaching them, in some format or the other. So, when we coach others, we have to get ourselves and better prepare ourselves and learn how to have a smiling face and how to help others so that we can encourage the other people to live a little happier and healthy life, right?
Absolutely. I think we have to be teachable and knowing that we don't have to come equipped knowing it all. And I think that's what stops people from really seeing all the possibilities in their life is because they feel they have to be smarter, more attractive. There's a certain image that they feel they have to be, or they have to live in a certain area, have certain friends, and that is limited belief.
Right.
And so I think if our perception, we allow ourselves to look far down the road and look at the possibilities and know that we can learn just about everything that we need to do the day, to do the week, and we can be teachable on the things that we're wanting to learn. To become a doctor, you can't just walk into the hospital. You're going to have to invest in time and education and resources to do that.
Right.
And that may not be for everyone. And so finding out what is it that you're excited about, where is your passion, what's your why, what really is a a thought that comes in your mind that you just can't get out, that dream that's somewhere there, and you think, oh, I just don't think that will ever happen. Well, it can. It might have to happen in steps.
Right.
But keep working on your dreams. Keep working on the things in life that are out there that you're excited about, and just be willing to learn. Be willing to fall forward, because that's how we become better. We're never born equipped. We become equipped, and sometimes the trials and the disappointments, those are the things that build us.
Yeah, make us stronger.
Yeah, that we have to work and push through. We become so much different than not have gone through it, not have been able to, not have that circumstance or even that hard time. Sometimes the hard times can be just what we need to mold us and to prepare us for the next chapter.
Or the next generation.
The next generation. Yes.
Well, really thinking about it, our ancestors, and they went through a lot of hard times, but they paved the way for us. We got better education, better knowledge, better technology, better medicine. It does not, take from one step to the next step in one day. You take many, many years, many, many generations. So that's exactly what you are talking about. Keep moving forward. And I remember that I heard, different stories for at times is that after many, many tries, and people say, I am going to give up because I will never get there.
Right.
The way that I look at it, as long as you keep trying, and you can turn a chapter. If you felt like that is not something, no longer have interest, as long as you keep trying while you have the interest, you are successful. But if you're not trying, then you are not doing anything productive. But when you try all you can, life is about a journey. It's not about destiny. When you look at it like that, you may not be the champion of the thing that you choose to do, but in the same time, you experienced it, trying to get the best that you can, having the best experience by improving one step each time, 1% each day. I thought that is a lot of happiness to me. And just like playing golf sometimes, right? And or maybe just a very small exercise. Somebody, I heard a lady that she was diagnosed that she's going to be paralyzed for a long time. But she said, well, in the back of my mind, I want to get back up. Even the doctor told me that I will probably never be able to walk again. He said, I found a way to move my legs, move my fingers, move my toe. And she prayed, and she tried to do whatever that she can. And she said 6 months later, she's able to move her fingers and able to move, her legs. And she said, once I have that movement, I know I can walk again. And that's a belief that she is striving for. And sooner or later, she started putting a step one at a time. And she told me it took her 2.5 years before she was able to walk with a cane. And then now she's able to drive. So, to a lot of people, a little bit of those improvement each day and gave them the emotion and also the encouragement to better themselves and find happiness and find better health. So I thought that is a great story.
It's a wonderful story.
Yeah, so as long as you have the will and keep trying, when you see that little bit of improvement, she said, I know, once my finger is able to move, I know I can move again. And when I feel like my leg is able to move, I know I can walk again. That type of encouragement, that is from within herself, because she wants to get better. She wants to walk again. She wants to be independent. She wants to drive. So now she's doing extremely well.
Well, having a healthy, happy mindset is really, really important.
Right.
To just experience joy, to experience all that we want to, even in a day, just all of our accomplishments. And your friend that you're just speaking of, she had some, a physical.
She had a stroke.
Oh, she had a stroke. And if she would have taken a different approach, and decided that she wasn't going to walk again, that this was it. And it's almost like you shorten your days of living, and living in happiness, living in opportunity, living in just joy.
Right.
Because you allow even a diagnosis to allow who you are to crumble. And so, I mean, I think we need to do everything that we can for as long as we can to overcome any obstacle and to try. I mean, you think of all the inventors of our time.
Yes.
They didn't stop after the first, the second, the third. I mean, it was hundreds and hundreds of times. And I think that's what's so unique about the human spirit is, you know, we have been made to you know, be excited and to look for the next mountain. Even though there's a valley, there's the next mountain that we can climb because we don't know where it's going to take us on the other side.
Awesome. When I was growing up, you know, I was reading some Chinese poems, and you know, it states that in order for you to see the rest of the world, you just need to go one floor up.
Right, one floor up. Isn't that the truth?
Yeah, one floor up. And when I was talking to my children, you know, and I always using the helicopter scenario. And when you are riding in a helicopter facing a mountain and just looking at the mountain walls, you don't know where is the next peak. You just keep moving your helicopter up until you can see the rest of the world. Then you can keep moving forward again. So, you know, and there's a lot of inspiration in life. And I just hope that my audience, the younger generation, our family and friends, just keep listening, keep learning, and keep thinking, and find a reason to be happy. You know, just find a reason to be happy. Just like what you told me a little bit earlier, the birds are flying, they are singing, we have beautiful sun, we have nice sunsets, sunrise, you know, even the breeze sometimes smells so good with the flowers, you know, and when you are feeling unhappy, go out and take a walk, right? Do a little exercise, or pick up a phone to call a friend, you know, find something nice to do and get away from the negatives. Think positive and try to be around with the positive people.
Absolutely.
And what do you think comes to the worst scenario if you're too lazy to walk and don't do nothing? I've thought about something too, just right now. Next time if I'm too lazy to walk, too lazy to exercise, because I'm so upset, I will bring a mirror right in front of me and just smile to myself. When you see a smiling face, don't you feel happier?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, let's try that one of these days.
Okay, we'll have to try that.
Yeah, and I also noticed that you are not only an expert about happy mindset, but you also want to talk about how we can keep ourselves with a healthier body.
Absolutely.
And now that is not my cup of tea.
Okay.
About happy life, I wrote a book about happy life. Your daughter read about my book, and she thought it's one of the very, you know, encouraging book. And she came to my show and talked about my book and gave me a lot of credit for it. I am very, very thankful for her support and friendship. And but as far as, you know, a businessman and always living a fast lane, always busy, I never thought about healthier body. You know, and I just eat whatever my wife cooked nowadays. But when I was at the restaurant business, I cook whatever tastes good. And so, you know, I want you to take this opportunity, teach me, and share your information with the audience, how we can have a healthier body during our days and during our life.
Okay, I would love to share about that. You know, it did not happen by accident that my goal of wanting to encourage others with their health just popped in my head one day. But two of my children had experienced a health crisis, and through that time that was difficult, I realized for the first time that I wasn't in control and I need to find people that could help me. And I was encouraged by a doctor. The important part of their recovery was nutrition and having their bodies nutriented well to help and assist in the recovery. And I had never heard of that. It always had been prescriptions or different other types of modalities, but nutrition, I thought, oh, you mean a healthy diet? No, beyond a healthy diet. And so
Really?
so what I've learned is, you know, we need to eat as healthy as we can. And I try to stress low glycemic eating. Eating in a way where we're not creating inflammation. We're not spiking and crashing our blood sugar. And you know, my typical diet, I was spiking and crashing my blood sugar. I didn't realize it, and then I started to think, I was spiking and crashing my children's blood sugar every day, probably throughout the day, without realizing it. I didn't understand that certain foods turn to sugar very quickly, and so there's this quick response, and then our body is overproducing insulin. We've got this just unbelievable rise in insulin. And you've heard the expression, what comes up must come down, right?
Yes.
When you're spiking your blood sugar, in about an hour or so, you're going to start crashing. And it may feel, for some, where they've just eaten this breakfast or whatever meal, and they're hungry all over again. Or they feel like they have to eat everything and anything around. And they're wondering, why am I feeling this way? I just ate. Because their body is not satisfied. And they have really have messed up their metabolism to where their body's in this place of fatigue and craving and hunger. And so they've got to grab the first thing, and it's not willpower. It's something metabolically that's changed from that spiking and crashing. So if we eat differently or in better combinations, we do not have to spike. We're going to have our blood sugar rise a little bit, and that's a healthy thing. We need certain sugars. I mean, our brain operates, our body operates on certain sugars, the proper ones, but in balance. But we need to make sure what's going in is safe and it's good for our body, so we can kind of stay in this nice rolling motion. That's very important for you to have healthy blood sugars. And I'm not talking about totally diabetes here. I'm talking about diabetes, but just the average person.
Just for average person.
We're just pushing our bodies too much by the types of foods that we're eating every day. So learning to make those different choices.
I see. So a healthy diet is something that you are encouraging.
Yes.
But there's a little bit more than that, you say?
Well,
other than the healthy diet?
Well, I am. First, if someone's starting out with the healthy diet, you know, I want to make sure that combination of foods is going to be good. You know, I call it an ideal plate, where half of their plate is going to be raw foods. Green is the best, starting out to kind of really get your metabolism in a better place and your body, and then your good proteins and your good fats and your good healthy carbs. Those are all important because we need to adapt a healthy diet or learn how to live in this way. And then beyond our healthy choices of our food, unfortunately, we're getting nutrition from our food, but we can't get everything that we need. But there was a time we could. Do you know about what years we could get the nutrients that we needed from the ground? I just want you to guess.
You tell me.
Okay.
Oh, please.
Well, I tell you, my grandmother, in 1914, she was in nursing school. In 1914, the nutrients in the soil were pretty intact. In 1936, the U.S. Senate had run a study, and they had a panel of scientists studying the soils just in America, and they did not find one area of ground that had the nutrients at the right levels. Much of the ground was missing the majority of nutrients at the levels that our bodies needed for critical, just for critical things to happen. We have so many processes that happen just day in and day out, second by second, that if our bodies don't have the nutrients we need, our bodies aren't going to function well. So a healthy diet, beyond our healthy diet, we need to supplement. We need to get optimization. We need to get supplementation on board beyond our diet through vitamin supplementation.
Really? So even though you have a great diet and exercise, you still need a little bit of extra supplement to get you to the next level for health?
Absolutely. So your healthy diet, get your body moving. That's going to make you feel great up here, make your body feel good all over, and keep you motivated.
Really?
But yes.
There's medicine for that?
That's medicine for that. But
Oh, well, you probably don't call it medicine, you call it supplement, right? I just heard
yes,
that.
but then supplementation, that is going to be through nutrients that you may be familiar as a vitamin supplement. But you know, there's so many supplements out there.
Right.
And it's hard to know which one to choose and what is good. And
You always
so,
listen to the doctors, just in case you need something, right?
and you know, your doctors, you know, can be a place that, you know, you may have that conversation. You know, there are many doctors out there that haven't had a lot of background in nutrition. They know
True.
a lot of the basics, but
Very
we can't
true.
expect them to know everything. You know, and
That's
we have to
where
respect
the-
them for what they do know.
Right, that's where the health coach comes from.
Yes, that's what that, you know,
Yeah,
that's
we-
what I'm really trying to do.
Yeah, so that's where the health coach comes from, that to let us know what is better for us
Absolutely.
for better health.
Well, you know, supplementation is based, for the most part, on RDAs, and I'm sure our audience has heard of RDAs, recommended daily allowance.
Right.
And you know, that came out years ago. You know, we had the sailors, and they were getting scurvy, and they were getting these disease processes, and you know, we figured out, you know, vitamin C, if they had a lemon or a lime, you know, they could be cured from getting that scurvy.
Right.
And so basically those RDA levels, we knew that the C had to be at a certain amount. And so, you know, vitamins and minerals started to become those RDA levels, which were really the low end of minimum wage for nutrition, for nutrients. We want to be at high optimal levels. If you're at optimal levels, they can be preventative. If you're at RDA levels, you know, acute illness, you know, it can help there. But for someone that really wants to be preventative in their lifestyle, degenerative disease is preventable. I didn't know that at one time. I just thought, well, I'll probably get maybe what my grandmother, you know, her ailments, or maybe it's on my father's side. Maybe it was his father. I just didn't know what the mix was going to be for me personally. I used to think about that as I was a young girl. But really, degenerative disease is preventable.
Okay.
Lifestyle. We need to bring things into our lifestyle. So supplementation is really important, and I actually, for my family and myself and my clients, I utilize a supplement
Okay.
from USANA Health Sciences.
What's the name of that company again?
It's called USANA Health Sciences, and
I have not heard about it
you haven't heard of
before.
them?
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping
Well,
that
once
you
again,
will.
as I told you, I know, you know, my life is always in a fast lane, and I pay very little attention to personal health.
Right.
And I thought if I ate good food, I have a fantastic, happy mind,
Right.
even though sometimes I act.
Right.
It's okay. When you act happy, you are happy. You know, will you agree about that?
Absolutely.
You know, and life is a stage. You know,
It
it is a
is.
stage. You know, if
And
you
we're
keep
on
yourself-
stage all the time.
We're on stage all the time, every single moment. You know,
are.
but the fact of the matter is, we don't act happy. We think happy. We are happier,
Right.
and it's really, you know, the process. At one time, people told me, if you think you are happy, when you think about that 50 times a day, you're going to be happier.
Right, absolutely.
You know, when you smile to yourself 10 times every hour, you're going to be happier. If you see everybody, when you see them, you smile to them, say hello, you feel happier. So it's an act sometimes, but after you act on it every single day, it became you.
That's right.
And that is what is important, it became you. And when you act happy, you become happy. So when I wrote a book, and most people said, well, you must live a happy life, because the title of my book is Happy Life. But in reality, after 5 years that I have written the book, it's not about me. It's about happy life is tool. When you help other people, you find happiness.
Right.
This is a tool. When you have a positive attitude, you think positive, you find happiness. So when you start learning and teaching with the E, you find happiness. So it's not about, you know, you live a happy life or not, but when you go out there and start learning, when you go out there and start teaching, you find a lot of happiness. So all those acronyms, happy life, when you share your love, they come back in tenfold. So each letter of the happy life is an acronym, but in the same time, it motivates me to live a happy life, because just once a day, I do one of those 9 ladders, I find myself living a happy life. So now, but go back to the same topic.
Okay.
Even though I live a happy life, I may not be living a healthy
That's right.
body life.
That's right. And and I want not only our audience, but I want you to experience a healthy, happy life. If you have your health, then you're going to be able to continue to do the things that you love with the ones that you love. Do the things that you love with the ones that you love.
Awesome. That's going back to the same prime example that we talked about, that when you are in the airplane, that if something goes wrong, you want to put the oxygen mask for yourself first, and so you can help more of the other people because you become more capable.
That's right.
So you have to take care of your own body as well as your own happiness. That's awesome.
And it's true, if we think that we have these wonderful bodies, we want to take care of them.
That's right.
And we want to enjoy life in a safe way.
Right.
And so there are roadblocks. Some of those roadblocks can be our choices. And we can put ourselves on a road or a track, on a journey that we never planned.
Right.
Because of maybe the bad choices that we're making, and maybe we don't even realize what those choices are that are bad. And that's where I'm helping to empower, to educate individuals so they can learn some simple steps that they can take in their lifestyle. Because I really want them to feel good. When you feel good, that is a part of being happy too.
Absolutely.
When you're sick, it's hard.
It
it's
is
very
hard.
Difficult to stay
when you're in
up.
pain, right?
Yeah, it's hard to
Especially in
overcome
pain.
that.
It is.
And there are many people that do that, and they're strong and they're courageous people. But we need to do what we can do right now to keep our bodies healthy, because we want to get a lot of miles. We really weren't designed for our bodies to stop early. But
right.
we want to live a long, full life with purpose, passion,
and dreams,
and with happiness. But we're not going to be able to live all of that if we don't have a healthy body. We're going to be on the sideline of life and not really being able to be engaged. We're going to watch it. We're not going to be able to engage in it.
Very true. Yeah.
So,
like what you just told us, life have to have dreams. But when you don't have a healthy body, the dreams hard to come true because you're not able to enact to it. So I think you're absolutely right. Before tonight's show, and as I just mentioned to you, I know little about, healthy body, and I'm glad that I had the opportunity and the honor of inviting you to come and share this. So what is that supplement that you talk about?
Okay. Well, let me just share with you. We should have the basics of our vitamins and minerals. 13 vitamins and minerals that we need every day for just critical things to happen in our bodies the way that they should. When they're not there, our body's not working. It's overworking. Many times we're becoming deficient in areas because we just don't have the nutrients, and our body's leaching nutrients. So we need to put the nutrients back in. We're going to eat a healthy diet, get the nutrients that we can from our food, but to optimize from what we can't get from our food. 72.6 cups of spinach. If you were to eat that amount, you could get your 400 international units of vitamin E. You need it every day. Who can eat the amounts of food that we need to get to optimal levels? Optimal levels are preventative levels. We've got all kinds of stresses. So my first advice for anyone is get the nutrients that our bodies were designed to have on the inside.
Okay.
And this is mega antioxidant and chelated minerals. These are the top rated multivitamin in the world. There's a comparative guide that comes out, and they look at supplements from all over, and they're rated from a 1 to a 5. And these have been rated a 5 gold star.
5 gold star.
So, and they are manufactured under very, very strict steps. This is manufactured in an FDA registered site, and it has a potency, purity, and bioavailability. You want to make sure the potency, you're getting all the nutrients that you need. Not too much, not too little, but the right amounts, and that your body's going to be able to function well. You want to make sure the ingredients are pure. These are the purest ingredients, and even though they're certified raw ingredients, they go through 120 tests, and over 700 elite athletes trust their health to USANA Health Sciences.
I see.
And bioavailability, you want to take something, don't you want to receive the benefit if you're going to take it?
Oh, absolutely.
You don't want it to go in and go out, right? You want to make
Right.
sure it's taken up within 20 minutes. It's bioavailable. Your
see.
cells are bathing in these nutrients. We all need to be nutriented. You know, once a child can start chewing, they need to be on a supplement. And
Really?
if we're 90, we need to be on a supplement. It's just, in life, we need to get the nutrients that we're not getting like we could one day from our food. Eat the best diet. We can still get a lot from our diet, but we can't get optimal levels. So I would suggest the essentials.
Essentials?
And, the essentials. And that is my product partner and what I use to help get my clients healthy. You know, we all have
So-
goals, but getting healthy, we've got to start at the cellular level.
I see. Well, when we talk about these products, since I know little about them,
Yes.
and I want to learn more about them, do they have a website or information
Yes. Yes.
that I can go into, study and learn, and want to know, you know, what kind of costs and
Sure.
what kind of benefits, and how many do I need to take, one a day or maybe 5 a day or whatever, more information about the products.
Sure.
Do you have a website that maybe I can
I
visit?
do. I do. Should I tell you it now?
Yeah, please.
It's www.livefreegroup.com, or you can go to www.teresa, Teresa, Meadows, Meadows, at usana.com.
Can you spell USANA again?
Yes. USANA.
U-S-A-N-A.
USANA.
USA?
USANA. And
Oh.
we're really excited because USANA Health Sciences has just become a partner and sponsor of the Dr. Oz Show. So every month, a different product from USANA Health Sciences will be featured. And this has been something that's been really fun. The Reset program, that's another 5-day reset where you
Yeah.
can lose your cravings, release 4 to 5 pounds in the first 5 days, and lose the cravings. That is lifestyle change. I'm really wanting
Wow.
someone to get healthy on the inside out, get back to a place of balance. And these are some tools that I use with my clients, and I'd be very happy to help any of your audience or any of your friends
Thank you.
get
Well-
on the right track with their
Well,
health.
maybe if the first one, I would be the one that you need to help because I was never on the right track.
Well, I would love
but
to
I
do
always
that.
live a happy life, and now I see happy, healthy life.
Happy, healthy life. When we
Wow.
have our health, when we
That's
have our
very
health, we
interesting.
can do much more.
Yeah,
Right?
very true.
We can do much more, and too many people are experiencing, problems in their health too young. We need to really understand that we've got to take responsibility, learn all we can, and start applying the information and applying some good tools that
Right.
have science behind them.
I see.
You know?
Well, I really want to thank you so much
You
to
are so welcome.
share your product, your wisdom, more importantly, your great personality.
I appreciate
and,
it.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me, Mr. Chin. And I appreciate the audience this evening, and I'm hoping, that if I can help anyone on their journey, please connect with me, and like for you to live your life in happiness and health.
Right.
So
Well,
that's our motto.
well, that's your motto too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that is
Great.
USANA's motto, live life in happiness and health. We do everything to help you live life in happiness and health. And
Oh, okay.
that really goes along with my tagline, inspiring healthy living from the inside out. We're inspiring people. We can't change people. We can inspire and we can encourage people to
Right.
be all that they were created to be in their health, in their mindset, just in whatever's lying out there that they want to achieve, and they want to go after it. There's nothing that stops us but ourselves when we stop dreaming and thinking it's not possible.
Well, I'm sure that, we can start dreaming again.
Yes. Yes.
Well, talking about the product, the essential, whatever the
Yeah, the essentials.
The essentials.
The essentials.
And what are the product that you're introducing to me and to our audience today?
Yes.
And I assume that you have been taking it for a while now, haven't you?
Absolutely. I have been on the essentials for about, I'm going to say 8 years.
8 years.
It's made a very big difference in my health. I mean, just my energy level. I'm able to live a busy, full life, but feel good.
Right.
And it's been wonderful.
Well, I can see it because you do have a very, very pleasant personality.
Well, thanks.
You look very healthy, and you're as happy as you can be.
I am.
Yes, yeah. So I hope this, whatever the supplement can help more people, down the road if they are as good as able to help you. So I might want to try it one of these days.
Okay, well,
Yeah, I don't know when I'm going to start. I don't know if I want to start it today, tomorrow, but as what you said, you just start somewhere. So let me go to
www.teresameadows.usana.com.
usana.com, and I'm going to find out more about your products. And more importantly, I want my audience to remember healthy, happy life is
right.
a very important part for ourselves, so that once we get good health, happiness, we can go out and help more people to find their dreams, to inspire them, to encourage them to live a happier, healthier life. Thank you so very much. Enjoy having you, and thank you for watching. Ms. Meadows,
thank you, Ms.
great to meet you again.
Yes,
thank you so much for coming and share all the information with us.
Thank you. I'm hoping that I can inspire people to take the next step.
Well, you already inspired me.
Good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr.
Audience, you all have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, it's really enjoy having you today.